we're here to tell you guys about...
That height is a thing that exists, but shouldn't stop you from dating who you want to date.
Yeah!
So, like most couples in 2020, we met online. I was on Bumble, if you're familiar with that app, and I was just flicking through like you do, swipe left, swipe right, and I came across the profile of this beautiful redhead, and I thought, oh, she's cute. And I tap into her profile to look and see, because I always read the bios of people that I would swipe right on, and I saw those words that says, I am 6 feet tall, and I went, oh, no. But then right after it, she wrote, but I don't care how tall you are. And so I thought, sure, I'll shoot my shot. So I swiped right and thought nothing more of it. And I think we matched that same day, did we not?
We did. And how tall are you?
Oh, I'm 5'8".
Yeah.
So 6 foot and 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Pretty significant difference, especially in this orientation.
Yes. We sent each other a couple messages, mostly dad jokes.
Yeah, it was like a dozen messages was all, and then
we decided to meet up. But like the thing I noticed about your profile is that he had this crazy picture where it was just it was a composite of him sitting in a bunch of different positions, like doing a bunch of different things, like reading a book and playing guitar, and I thought it was hilarious. And then
creativity counts, guys.
It really does.
So why didn't you care about height? Why is that a non-issue for you?
So I was about 5'11" when I was like 13, and like, so pretty much like my full height. And I had just kind of lived my entire life being way taller than most people. People always thought I was older than I was. And so I dated a bunch of guys who were shorter than me, because when you're 6 feet tall, you don't have a lot of options for people who are taller than you. I've dated a couple guys who are taller than me, but most of them are shorter than me, and which just didn't seem like an issue. It doesn't factor into my attraction at all. He just has nice eyes. It doesn't factor into my attraction.
But actually, on my end of things, I always thought that I was way more attracted to shorter girls. And I think it was because I just felt like intimidated by women who were taller than me. Mm-hmm. And I was actually like completely shocked that you even messaged me back initially. And I feel like every step of the way was just like, I guess we'll see what happens. Like, we'll swipe right on her, see what happens. We'll go meet up with her, see what happens. We'll take her out again, we'll see what happens. Like, yeah, you were the only woman that I ever met up with that was taller than me. Because I think most women have a problem with it. And most dating apps nowadays will ask for your height. And when you put yourself at 5'8", like you're like
You're shrinking the field.
Yeah. Your dating pool shrinks.
You can miss out on a lot of really awesome things in a person if you get hung up on something like hair color or eye color or height, something you can't fundamentally change. I mean, you can change your hair, but...
Well, yeah, you should be focusing more on things that actually matter about a person. You know, whether you're compatible hobbies or personalities or like senses of humor, like your physical appearance, like as long as there is some attraction there, that should be enough.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that attraction is tied to height for some people, but through this I've learned that it's not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Like 95% of all the women on dating sites really care that much. And I guess it depends on where your priorities lie, because I find you incredibly attractive, but that has way more to do with like your personality, and I think you have a beautiful face, and that like you have so many good things about you, and I feel like that was what really, reeled me in, instead of like, oh no, you're shorter than me.
Yeah. Well, I guess a part of that too is, and I feel like I've actually heard my sister say this, I don't want short kids. What's wrong with short kids?
Okay.
Huh?
And here's the thing about that. Height is dependent on a myriad of factors, one of which is genetics. Lots of other things, such as environment and nutrition and whether or not you have stress in your life or have had childhood trauma. Like,
and
there's a ton of
astrological
things
sign.
Yeah.
If you're a Cancer.
If you like creamy or crunchy peanut butter.
Right. Those things determine.
So many things.
Like, why do you feel like so many women get hung up on height?
I feel like it has to play a lot into our traditional ideas of masculinity and femininity. And I know that I used to really struggle with my height, and I hated it. I hated being tall, and I was bigger than a lot of the people I went to high school with, and I was a lot stronger than them too, just because it was just my body.
Well, and here's the dumb thing. No matter what qualities you have, if it falls outside of normal, kids will make fun of you for it. Oh, you're so short. Oh, you're so tall. Like, it doesn't matter. You can't win when you're a teenager.
Right?
Feel like you want to be taller than the woman you're dating, but then when you're actually in the situation, you realize how little it matters. And I guess, like, I mean, we could talk a little bit about body image problems at this point, because I've always been fairly short. I remember the summer that I had my big growth spurt. I was like, I think it was the summer that I turned 13. I had a pretty significant growth spurt, and I thought, yeah, I'll have caught up to all my school friends, and I will finally like look normal and won't be teased. And when I got to I think it was my first day of high school, everybody else had also grown. So like I was still much shorter than everybody else.
And when I was in high school, I was completely convinced that guys didn't like me because I was too big. Which really sucks, but
at this point, like we've met, we've gone out a few times, we like each other, we're totally fine with it, come to terms with the height difference, like that's totally fine. But what happens when we meet each other's families for the first time? Because I feel like your family didn't like react at all.
No, and
in fact, I think it was one of your sisters like said to me like, "Ooh, cute boy."
Yep.
It's like, all right.
That goes. That's the way it goes. So your family.
Well, I don't feel like my parents even reacted at all, which is kind of funny because both of my parents are pretty short as well. Like I'm 3 or 4 inches taller than both of my parents. But the person who got like the most confused about it was my nephew. And his little interaction, Atticus, he was so confused about, and I think it was a combination of things.
The first question was, "Are you guys dating?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay. You're a girl, right?" "Yeah, I identify as a girl." He goes, "Okay, but your hair is short." But yeah, girls can have short hair. Andrew's hair is kind of long. Yeah, you can have long hair. It's totally fine. "Okay. Are you older than him?" I think this is the real hang up on the height, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're a little kid, your misconception is that like if you get taller, you are older, which makes sense. It's a understandable.
It's a logical conclusion.
Yeah, and so I said, "No, actually, he's older than me." "How much older?" I say, "He's about 5 years older than me." He goes, "Do you guys kiss?" And I was like, I'm not gonna lie to him, so I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "But not here, right? You do that at home."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I told him sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna broach that topic with a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't noticed anybody in public. Nobody's remarked on it. I think the only remark we've ever had is people have said, "Oh, you guys are a really cute couple."
Yeah, I feel like we've only had positive reactions. Nobody's been weird about it, to my knowledge, which is great.
And it's like good information for you if you would like to date somebody and they would like to date you and you don't have conventional height.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And
be sure to subscribe. We're going to be making lots more videos.
We are on Instagram.
Yeah, we are the White Bees on Instagram. And we'd love to share this fun little journey with all of you guys. See you on the next one. Bye.